San Diego. Are you having a good time so far? That is what I like to hear. Continuing on with the action, this next bout will be 3 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first and making his way to the cage, out of the blue corner, Zac Venegas.
And here we are, Zac Venegas fighting out of Fight Syndicate, 27 years old, 6'1", and weighed in at 159 pounds.
When I talked to him in the back, Zac said, you know what, I'm just ready to be violent. And I said, you know, I could really relate to that. I was like, yes, 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 that's awesome. It reminded me when I was fighting for the California state title. Shout out Harvey for finding me a last-minute matchup on the Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz 3 undercard. Chuck looked at me and said, you look like a ring girl. And I was like, listen, I just want to make someone bleed and not get arrested for it. And he looked at me and laughed and said, I love that spirit.
And there you heard it, guys. And Zacharias fought about a year ago on the Epic Fighting Tahiti Fighting Championship card. He's looking for his first win tonight. He's a jiu-jitsu competitor as well, so he stayed active as he fight on such jiu-jitsu shows as Fight to Win. I believe Zacharias would be smart to use his grappling against the ultra-aggressive opponent. Chris, when hit, immediately responds. So if Zacharias can land and draw a reaction out of his opponent, he can shoot underneath his punches and level change. This is the stereotypical striker versus grappler match.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, out of the red corner, Chris Perez.
And next up, we got Chris Perez at 1-3, 25 years old, weighed in at 156 pounds, fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu in Oceanside. Gilberto, excuse me, Chris Perez, he fought last in 2022, is a live by the sword and die by the sword type of fighter. All 4 of his fights ended in the first round, and there's no feeling out process with him. So he starts really fast, no breaks. There's also no intimidating this guy. He's never fought someone with a losing record, and that really means something, especially when you know the guys that you've gone against are top-level guys. I mean, he is fearlessness. And as I'm sure you can tell by his frame, Chris has big power. His hands especially, his right low kick. Look for him to jump on his opponent early and finish him in the first. You know, this guy comes out firing.
Chris Perez is young, just 25 years old, but he has 2 kids. He would like to give a shout out to his kids at home, CJ and Jade. Daddy loves you. He is sending all his good vibes, and you know, he would like to give a shout out to his family, to his team at 10th Planet, and to everyone supporting him. You know, I think being a father at such a young age is real motivation. Again, this will be 3
2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He has 1 fight under his belt, and he is looking for his first win. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 159 pounds, representing Fight Syndicate and fighting out of Murrieta, California. Here is Zac Venegas. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He holds a record of 1 win, 3 defeats. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs in at 156 pounds, representing 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu Oceanside and fighting out of Oceanside, California. Here is Chris Perez. Your referee in charge of the action, Marc Reyes.
Here we go in this next fight underway. Cage door locks. Intensity is high, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. And the touch of gloves, and immediately you see them feeling each other out. Hard low kick.
Unfazed, though, is Chris. That was a pretty hard kick, and he fired back with a calm, controlled, and a nicely timed right hand. Oof. He just ate a jab on the way in on that one.
And you can immediately, Chris starts working for the takedown. Maybe this might be a new wrinkle in his game he's been adding this last camp. And this is one of the most exhausting ways to fight as well. It doesn't seem like a lot is going on, but it's a lot of lactic acid buildup.
And, you know, you can kind of hear in the corner they were saying head position, but I think it's more than that. To really hold someone on the cage, it's about not only your head position, but your body. If your hips are far away, this creates space for them to get off the cage. You want your head so deep, your throat and your chest, you're putting all your weight, driving it into them, and this is quite fatiguing for Zac trying to get off the wall. And in a short duration of fight, this is winning Chris some domination. However, pretty shortly here, we may see the ref kind of clap his hands and say, give me some action or I'm going to reset you.
Yeah, you can see he's leaning in right there. He's probably saying something like action fighter, action fighter. And you can see that at least Chris is pummeling right now. Zac would be good to start bumping his hips and start seeing if he can get off the cage, because right now he is losing this round.
Chris doing a good job with control, but he did it just as I was about to say. I was going to say I'd like to see some knees to keep him busy, and he threw it before I could open my mouth, so mind reader.
Yeah, you can see Chris is trying to jack the underhook up right now while Zac is trying to roll to his back. With 10 seconds left.
Great position by Chris. Harder than it looks to squirm your way out of a cage when you have a strong man putting all his weight onto your body.
Yeah, you can look at Chris's frame. I mean, especially with the high traps, those guys are generally really, really strong fighters. So it's not nearly as easy as you would think as just getting off the fence.
What I would like to see from Zac, though, is to help him, to aid him in getting off the fence. Anytime you can get your underhook, when you jack that up super duper high, jacking up the underhook allows you to create an angle to start circling off the cage, so then you are now in a dominant position. I like the underhook heavy on the ground and on the cage. I will say those are two huge things about my game that save me in a bad position all the time, is a heavy underhook. When you have a nice deep underhook, that is hard to beat.
Yes, definitely. And now we're going to see what kind of adjustments can Zac make in this second round. It's going to be crucial that he doesn't get stuck against the fence. I would like to see Chris look for a single or a double off the cage should he decide to start cage wrestling again.
If I'm in the corner of Zac, I'm going to say use those underhooks and elevate. Almost like you're throwing a rock up to the heavens. That's how heavy I would want it.
Also interesting is this is the first time Chris has been out of the first round. He keeps looking for that big right hand. Ooh,
Absolutely.
Good timing on the shot.
Beautiful double leg, shifting to the single. That's a good thing, right, about wrestling. When you can chain it off like that, go in from the double to the single. This is some high-level stuff. This is what you're going to have to be doing once you get to the professional level.
Yeah, and one thing that you can start doing here if you're looking for a takedown is start rocking him off the cage. It gives a little bit, so it gives kind of a springing motion, if you will. And now he's got double underhooks. Let's see if he can get the takedown off this. Chris starts landing some ground and pound. This is an effective way of winning. He's got the body lock now. Zac needs to start bumping his hips side to side. He gave it the body lock. See if Chris can do something with it. I mean, we're already halfway through this round, so Zac needs to get going really quickly. Switches to the single.
I'd like to see him get him down if he can. Throw his hips in deep and do whatever it takes to lock those hands deep on a double. This will help get him down. I think that would be a very dominant way to end the round.
And Chris has got great head positioning, which is making it even more difficult for Zac to get off the cage.
You know, but Zac keeps going to those overhooks. Those overhooks are holding Chris onto him. I'd like to see him transition to an underhook. That's the best way to get him off you. And absolutely flawless for Chris. Ending the round on top with a takedown. I think that that's just what he needed to do to show the judges on the scorecard, hey, not only did I win this round, I ended it on top.
Yeah, because a lot of times the judges are only remembering what just happened or within the last minute. So, I mean, it definitely helps when you finish on top and the round is kind of up for grabs. Now I want to see how does Chris come out as well. You know, he's been essentially grappling. His arms have been very, very tired from squeezing so much. You know, let's see how his punches can go. And Zac most likely needs a finish.
I would agree with you 100% on that one.
Nice inside low kick by Chris. They're still both very, very well conditioned, light on their feet. I'd like to see Chris start working in some level changes. Nice feints out of Chris. It's making it difficult for Zac to time him. There we go.
Good job using that underhook. It was really able to get him off of him, and now he's the one in control. And back on the wall for Chris Perez. Zac going back to those double overhooks. That underhook worked so well for him. If I was in the corner, I would just be screaming, use your underhooks.
And this is so frustrating when the same game plan has been happening to you for the first 2 rounds, and then it happens in the 3rd round. You know, I mean, this is a great way to grind somebody out, especially when the likelihood of Chris being up on the cards is very, very likely. I'd like to see Chris drop down for a double if possible.
Me too. That would be very exciting. And you know how we ended the last round on top? There's no more dominant way than to end the round on top of someone, and we got our wish. Great single leg dump by Chris.
With 30 seconds left, Zac just needs to throw caution to the wind right now. I mean, he's with the lockdown position from the bottom. I probably would be doing just about either trying to regain guard or simply stand up and risk giving my back up. And Chris is slowly advancing. He's going to posture up and start throwing big shots to the head and body. You can see he's peppering, big hammer shot, big hammer fist landing. And just like that, fight's over, ladies and gentlemen. Chris fairly confident, he's raising his hands. And we'll be waiting for the judges' scorecards coming up quite shortly. Juliana Miller with the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we head to the judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Chris Perez.
I am here with your winner, Chris. You just earned your 2nd victory in the cage. How does it feel to see your hard work finally paying off?
It feels great. If any of you guys know me on a personal level, you know what I've been through the last few years. You know, this feels great to get a win and, you know, just start the year off like this. And I'm very proud of myself, and I'm proud of my coaches and my teammates for helping me. I thank all of you guys, man. I couldn't do this without y'all. I appreciate you guys.
And a father at such a young age, your children, CJ and Jade, is there something that you would like to say to your loved ones back home?
To my children, I just want you guys to know, you work hard, you dedicate yourself to life, That's all I'm trying to show you guys. I love you too with all my heart, and this is for you guys. I love you guys.
I think you hit the hearts of everyone here with that one. Fighting at a 10th Planet Oceanside. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out over there? I'm a 10th Planet myself, so this one hits home for me.
Hey, shout out to Juliana, but also shout out to Gio, AJ Matthews, my coach Adam Castro, all my teammates. If I'm forgetting any of you guys, I'm sorry, but thank you guys for training me and pushing me to the limits and making me a better person and fighter. I love you all so much. Thank you.
A great job with the control and congratulations on the win.